Welcome guys, it is currently 5:24 in the morning on a Sunday. I'm Dennis Bizard, and today we are gonna set up my most ambitious interview shot yet. Cary, go ahead and turn around and pan and show them this venue that we're working with. So this is the McGill Auditorium. Today, I'm lucky to be joined by two young lethal ComCam soldiers who are going to be helping me bring this to life. So thank you so much. This is Parker. He is going to be our gaffer today, as well as arguably the most important job on set, the first AD. So he is gonna keep us on track, on time, and bring his lighting expertise as well into this project. Behind the camera, here, give me that. Cary wasn't on camera last time, so I just want to make sure he got some recognition. All right, that's enough speaking lines for you. All right, so we're gonna get right into it, but the first thing we're gonna do, first AD, pull up our timeline and kind of just give everyone a brief overview of our sequence of events.
So talent arrives at 7. So with our first step, we're gonna have framing. So we're gonna get the chair set up, get the background for both angles. Second, we're gonna move on to physically setting up the lights, staging them, getting them all together. We're gonna prep for the final position, but obviously once we see what the lighting is like, it's gonna be overcast, but we're hoping that the sun peeks through. We're gonna plan for that and then adjust last second when needed. We're gonna get the light, the fill light, and then hopefully a hair light as well, and potentially even a bounce light off of the wall back there with team needs and some of the flags. Then third, we're gonna dial in exposure. We're gonna get the camera white balance set up on both cameras and the lights. Then we're gonna move on to the practical lighting and effects. We're gonna dial in on that haze that we have for today, and then we're gonna see if we can, really lock in on controlling the background. 5, we have sound checks. 6, talent arrives at 7. Then we have final tweaks to exposure, lighting, and haze. And then we want to start rolling at 7:20, no later than. And yeah, there we go.
All right, couple things. Quick background about this project. This is something that I've always been wanting to do for a long time. The long and skinny of it, like you'll see the project later once it's done, but this is about skateboarding within the military. This is kind of just a testament to everyone I've met in the military that skateboards is always a great soldier. A leader I have that I really look up to, Drew Sveen. I'm not gonna say that when he's here, obviously, but he really is a really impressive person and leader, and he's definitely inspiring to me personally. What kind of gave me the idea, Cary, if you can focus on my phone, as you can see, these sun rays, the sun's really low in the sky, and it casts these beautiful long rays. So I'm trying to take advantage of this when we're actually shooting our final interview. And the goal is to have Drew sitting right about here, eyesight going this way. And then our second angle will probably be to the left of that, and then zoomed in to like Team Meade and maybe this right window. Yeah. So the cameras that we're going to be using for today's interview are 2 cameras. So for the A camera, we are using my Sony FX6 along with the 28 to 135 power zoom. I've never used this for a professional interview. I've always gone for my normal f2.8 lenses. A lot of times people think that the more shallow your depth of field, the higher the production value, but that's not always true. B camera, this is the FX3, the little brother to the FX6, also an absolute monster. And on this we have the Sony G Master 70-200 Mark II. What we're gonna do right now is really just establish our angles and just figure out what looks right. So I'm gonna start with my A camera, obviously, and just get it where it needs to be. Can you set that chair, bring it closer? Yeah, right there, stop. Pull it back a little bit. Just a little more.
Yep.
Right there. All right, can you sit in it?
Yep.
And I will position this to where it looks right and makes sense. Turn on my grids. I want those rays to be coming in behind him. Hopefully, I'm worried that they're gonna come in on top of him and that would be bad. But if that's the case, we can set up
something to block.
Exactly. Cool. Yeah, I'm really liking the way this looks. So yeah, okay. I'm happy with this being our
A cam?
Yes, and then B cam, shoot.
Huh.
I wanted Team Mead to be on the other side of him, but it doesn't make sense. I'm forced to go this way. Like I have to, like I
with
can't,
your B cam.
I can't break the 180. So because right now I'm filming the right side of Cary's face, I need to be on the right side with this as well. Cool. And then thinking of something like this for the second angle.
Oh yeah.
So obviously we'll get the light set up, but you can kind of see some of the flags peeking behind. But obviously that's the main, and then hopefully, God willing, we have
great light.
Yeah, exactly. So
that looks fantastic.
Let me go ahead and lock everything down nice and tight. Let's talk lights. So this is going to be our key light. This is the Aperture 1200D Pro. This is my good friend Andrew, who helped me very much last time. Was very kind and let us borrow this for this production. So this is gonna be our key light. Parker, Gaffer, tell us where this key light should be placed.
So this key light, we're gonna have it over towards the windows. It's gonna be motivated by the sunrise light coming in. So what that's gonna do is that's gonna help, sell the shot as much as possible to where when you watch it, we want this light to seem as natural as just the light from the sun by itself.
So right now, we are setting up a scrim, and it's definitely not my wife's sheet that she is wondering where it is. It is a cinema scrim to be used only for serious productions. This excess, we can just...
Sweet, you clamp it on your side.
Yeah. So just grab this and then grab the hole. Yep. So we're just gonna back this over the light. And watch what happens to the light. It's gonna cut it probably in half. Gonna make it even softer.
Nice.
So now this is gonna be double diffusion. So now we can actually
bring it closer.
So I'm gonna put it at 25 just to see what that does for us, if anything. So can you have a seat?
Yeah.
Wow. It's pretty cool. So that's clear, okay. Yeah, that's definitely much softer. There is still some spilling going on in the background.
Yeah.
So I suspect that's gonna be, here, I'm gonna record just so you can see. So as you can see right now, that dramatically cut the light output by putting this sheet here. I wonder what would happen if we moved this up to where it's like right before it hits you, it gets another, I don't know.
Okay. I think the one that could work, but then we will still have light spillage.
You're right, and it will be more amplified.
What we can do is angle this to mitigate that. Check that out. We could obviously position it.
Here, let me just increase the intensity just to see.
Yep.
What that looks like. So this is at 74%.
Yeah.
Look at my camera. which is still recording, geez. Oh yeah. That is so soft, it's nuts.
Nice.
So this does look really good. Yeah, I really like that.
Cool.
And it's looking good on this angle as well. However, you are taller than Turner. I'm probably gonna need it somewhere like this.
Yeah, just because of his height.
For Drew. Drew's a little shorter than us.
Okay, so we set up the 1200D and we have it set to 74%. The issue we were running into with having this flag in front of it was that we were still getting spill on the ground from this light. So what we did was, instead of having it parallel with it, we kind of angled this sheet so that it's cutting off the spill over here, but still giving us that nice soft light. And we just cranked it up because of the angle, and in camera it looks fantastic. So I think we're set with the key light. And then right now we're looking to potentially put a light on the background to light up the Team Mead with a RGB tube light that we have. So as far as the key light's concerned, I think we're good to go here. And then now we're just moving on and we'll start piecing together the fill light and potentially the rim light behind the subject. So that's where we're at right now.
So way too bright for fill. So that is 9.7. So right now we are setting up the fill light. And as you can see, when I turn it off like this, it is making a pretty substantial difference between being off and then filling in the shadows. So I don't want it to be way too moody, but right now the intensity of this light is at 3.8%, and it's doing that much. So it's going, pointed at Parker. So it is going from this is 3%. Look at the his right side of his face. Turning off, then turning back on, ready, and just that is filling in so much of the shadows. So I think this is a decent starting point. Obviously, this all could be changed when the sun actually comes up, depending on how it looks.
Yeah.
But right now, I just need to get this out of frame, and I want to do my very best to basically cut him off from the background, but not get it in camera. So I'm trying to create a hair light that is just gonna outline his hair, give him that separation from the background. All right, so we got our lights pretty much set up. Obviously, once the sun actually starts coming through, it may change just a little bit, but I'll hit record so you guys can see. But this is the key light, the fill light, and then also you'll notice the hair light, and it kind of highlights his shoulder and the side of his head and his hair. Really kind of makes him pop from the background. The only thing is, I want to try not to, what does this spill look like? I can't tell. Does it look kind of even, or is it like definitely skewed?
No, it does look pretty even from this perspective.
Man, look at those clouds. I'm not entirely convinced that our sunlight is gonna peek through the exact way I want it to. So that's unfortunate.
Okay.
80.
Time, 6:52.
6:52.
We have the background, we just need some haze.
Okay, so
Haze
that,
and sound checks and we're done.
sound checks, exactly. Keeping me on track.
Yep.
I am now gonna set up my set of the DJI mics. Mine look just like yours.
Cool.
All right, so since we're going to have a warmer scene, I wanted to create some color separation. So with the background, we actually angled up a 2-foot Amaran RGB light tube up at that Team Mead, Fort Meade sign over there. And it creates color separation.
Yeah.
So you got orange and then you got blue. Almost teal, but I'm really digging the way it looks. I'm just worried about the exposure because I know it's gonna slightly maybe change or.
So would you change it in camera or would we have to change the lights?
That's a good point. I'd probably just change it on the lights, to be honest, because
Okay.
that way I'd probably just change exactly what the lights are. That way we can keep our camera settings the exact same. And then I would like to avoid shooting with NDs if possible, because the FX6 has internal NDs, and I would have to add an ND filter to the end of this lens, and obviously different manufacturers from those NDs could create different color casts. So I'd like to avoid that if possible, but I'll cross that bridge when the sun gets up higher.
Time when the sun's gonna come across.
Welcome in. What's going on? How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Morning, sorry.
Looking good. Yeah, so this is the setup. Here, Parker, take a seat real quick.
Yep.
I just want to show you what it looks like, just so you can see. So in about 20-ish, the sun is gonna come up and start casting these like rays, like hopefully if the clouds move even just a little bit, but it'll all be behind you like diagonally like this. And then we're gonna spray some haze so that it like has like light rays going down. And you're like whatever, cool.
Yeah.
And then show them B cam too.
Yeah, and then B cam is just gonna be the other angle. It's kind of hard to see with that, but it's just another tighter angle.
Yeah.
Every second you do that is $1, just so you know. That's how expensive that shit is. Yeah, it is. Like, just 2 cans is like 35, 40 bucks. But it's gonna be worth it. Good Lord willing. Can you spray some up? Not too much, just some?
Yep. Want me to even get by these windows, like up here?
Yeah, spray it towards the windows. All right. Yeah, not too much up, cause yeah, that smoke detector's like right there. All right, so we have our scene basically all set up. We have our talent here, Drew Sveen. We have our key light, our fill light, our hair light, and then also our background light. Another thing that we've added is some background haze. So hopefully when the sun comes through these windows, it's gonna be on the eastern side, and it's gonna kind of blast east to west the diagonal light rays, and then hopefully our haze will shape those light rays. We're using the DJI Mic 2 recording system, and right now we actually attached a lav mic to the transmitter, a Sennheiser lav mic, and we actually taped it to Drew's chest right about here. And what I've noticed is that when you have your lavalier microphone, most people just kind of clip it on wherever, like by their neck, and you can see it, which is unprofessional. In interview settings, you should never be able to see the microphone. It obviously takes away. Even though he's just sitting in the big open room by himself, you can definitely tell it's an interview. We are professional filmmakers, so we do hide the microphone. So we just finished conducting our interview. It went really well. Unfortunately, the sun did not poke through the clouds as much as we wanted, but it still ended up looking great. The haze kind of dissipated halfway through, and then we had to, reapply. So yeah, maybe like an actual haze machine. Then the AC came on pretty loud. There were little minor technical difficulties, but overall, this was a really successful interview shoot, and here's how the footage turned out.
I'm Sergeant First Class Drew Sveen, and I'm a skateboarder.
All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this behind the scenes of how we conducted this interview shot. Let me know if there's another one you'd like to see, and until next time, we'll see you in the next one.